So, Lone Rider here, and I want to talk about Spydercos. Nah, not this one. That's a subject for another time. I want to talk about this. This is Spyderco Dragonfly, and this is essentially my favorite tiny Spyderco knife. And the reasons for that are simple. It's tiny, but it preserves a remarkable amount of utility. So let's take a look at this and get my handy-dandy ruler out here. The overall blade length is a little over, just about around 2 1/4 inches. The cutting edge length, if you exclude that part of the blade that you put your fingers on, the cutting edge length is just under 2 inches. And when it's completely open, the full length is about 5 1/2 inches. Closed, it's just over 3 1/4. And it's incredibly light. That's due to its construction and its size. You have a full flat ground, fairly short VG10 steel blade. You have the FRN handle scales. These don't have metal liners, which at first I was a little leery about, but because of the overall small size of the knife, you don't really need them. It's not long enough that you're going to flex it. Excuse me. And then you have the wire clip, which I was skeptical about. Excuse me. Again, just like I was skeptical about the lack of liners. But this clip is actually very sturdy. It's certainly stiff enough. It's not going anywhere. It's not breaking. As long as you make sure the screw is tight that holds it. Now, this has remarkable utility, like I said, for its size. You have a knife that's very tiny and easy to carry. You can tap this anywhere. But you have a decent length blade. It's not that long, but it is wide, so you have a decent amount of blade presence and strength. The full flat grind, however, keeps it thin and light and makes it a very good slicer. The curvature, you have a lot of belly to this blade. You can cut all the way up to the tip. And it does come very sharp. This is, of course, not a very big blade, and it's VG10, which is a good steel, but not a super steel, so you're going to have to sharpen it. Now, I've used this quite a lot since I first got it, but let me see if I can still do this without hurting myself. There we go. Now I have a little bald spot on my arm, but gosh, I feel like an extra from Teen Wolf. I didn't realize I was that hairy. But yeah, you can see all that hair on the blade? This is shaving sharp, right? This is shaving sharp. And that's after at least a week of EDC and some fairly regular usage, opening boxes, cutting string, that sort of thing. Now, this isn't supposed to take the place of an EDC knife. If you think of an EDC knife, it's usually a little bit bigger, a little bit more, basically a normal size knife. This is small. So normal size would be something like the Delica, something like the Para 3. You can see that's, much bigger. Something like the Positron, you put those two side by side. Again, this is very tiny. This is more like a normal size knife. Even something like the, Paramilitary 2. Now, this is a full-size pocket knife. It's a little bigger than some. But, again, you can see it's definitely bigger than this. The advantage of this, then, is that it's not the best knife in the world. It's not a full-size pocket knife. It's not even a normal-size pocket knife. But what it is it's a pocket knife that's so light you can carry it anywhere, even if you don't have, pockets, right? I mean, I'm a cyclist. One of the things that I know is that a lot of cycling shorts don't have pockets. Now, I'm wearing mountain bike shorts, and they happen to have pockets. But, you throw this in here, this is really light, right? So, I mean, even if you do have pockets and you just want to carry a light knife just to have a knife with you, but you don't need something big, you don't need something even full size, you just need something. This is the thing to carry. I mean, I've kept it in the seat bag under my seat when riding my road bike. If I'm riding my bike and I don't actually have pockets, like some bike shorts don't have pockets, I mean, you could actually clip it to the inside of your waistband, right? I mean, it's incredibly light. Nobody's going to notice it's there. You won't even notice it's there. Which again, I like the different colors on these. I don't know if I said that. In particular, I like the orange because it's really visible in low light environments. If you're using it in a garage, in a workspace, in the woods, under tree cover where there's shadow and the sunlight's not getting through, and you drop it, you can find this really easily. Also, in addition to not being intimidating because of the small size, it's kind of hard to be scared of something that's the same color as the Great Pumpkin, right? Or the packaging of Reese's Pieces. So, if you work in a place or you're in a place where you can't carry a big knife for whatever reason, you're worried, the sheep will get scared. I hate using the word sheep, but it's just so appropriate, So if you think this is a bad idea to carry a knife, well, you can carry something like this. It's not going to scare anybody. It's definitely small enough to be legal. And, the handle color is clearly doesn't scream, tactical or weapon or anything like that. It clearly screams, useful, small tool, unharmful thing, right? There's nothing intimidating about something that's bright orange. That's another possible use. If you work at a place where you can't carry a big knife, or where you're worried people will freak out if you have one, this is not going to freak anybody out. And secondly, if you're working in a place where there's low light or where you might drop it out of doors, or if it is in fact the knife that you just keep in your backpack or in the saddlebag of your bike or the pouch under the seat of your bike, or even in your jersey pocket. I have a cycling jersey here. I don't wear this one on the road because, well, it's black, but I have worn this mountain biking, especially under like a bright colored long sleeve jersey. There you go. Clipped in a jersey pocket, secure, not going anywhere, light enough, you're not going to feel it. And in fact, if you were to utilize the lanyard hole and just put a lanyard on it, hell, you could just throw it in there, and you're not gonna feel that. It's not gonna have any trouble. And again, like I said, you can even just like clip it in your waistband. If you're wearing, let's say, road shorts, which a lot of times don't have pockets. And same thing for, even if you're not a cyclist, you do trail running. Well, you probably don't want to carry as much bulky gear as a normal hiker. So what do? Clip your knife to the waistband of your running shorts or sweatpants or whatever the hell it is. This is an incredibly useful little thing, and it's definitely my favorite small knife from Spyderco. So I wouldn't consider this necessarily an EDC knife, but as a mini EDC knife, as a substandard size knife, as the littlest knife, that is still really useful as a one-handed opening lockback. You could easily just keep one of these, again, just clip to your jersey pocket, in the pouch under the seat on your bike with your, spare tube and tire levers, whatever. And you're not even going to notice the weight. I think it's under 2 ounces, from what I've read. I don't have one of those little scales here, but, it's really small. It's really handy. You still have that one-handed opening capability. You still have a decent amount of blade. And the way the handle is shaped and the grooves up here and everything, you do get a good grip on it. Probably an even better grip if you had a lanyard, but I couldn't be bothered to put one on this knife. But yeah, there you go. It's the littlest Spyderco, in my opinion. That's a really useful knife, but it is a really useful knife. And if you want one of these to have, whether you're jogging, trail running, biking, hiking, just to keep maybe keep it clipped to your vest if you're like a boater, like you're doing canoeing or something. This is just there. It's useful. It's there. I love the size. I love the wire clip. It's really well designed for what it is. They got the most utility they could out of a tiny package, and it also looks kind of cool too. So, that's the Spyderco Dragonfly, and in my opinion, it's one of the coolest little knives out there, and the coolest littlest Spyderco. So, if you want something for when you're out and about, or as a tiny EDC knife, or whatever it is you need one of these little things for, get your hands on one. You can't go wrong. Lone Rider out.